Kabokweni, an informal settlement in Mbombela in Nelspruit, has recently received a specialized early childhood development campus. This facility and classrooms are designed to be fire resistant. It is built to service the 40,000 people who live in the informal settlement. Well, joining us now to talk a little bit more about this is Nompikazi Matjila, who is from Ciplar SA, and they joined forces with the Department of Social Development to launch this particular campus. It's good to have you, Nompikazi. Thanks very much for being our guest on the program.
Thanks, Leanne. Good morning.
Talk to us a little bit about exactly what the Early Childhood Development Campus does and what it entails.
Well, this journey started about 6 years ago. We started addressing the plight of shack fire crisis within informal settlement areas. And we then kind of tailored it a lot more to facilitate those who are most vulnerable in communities, specifically looking at children and the elderly. And because obviously housing is such a sensitive issue, we decided the best way to utilize these panels, which are fire resistant, is to address it within an educational platform. Hence why we then went the route of early childhood development, and where we historically used to then do single units deployed, we decided to then move towards a campus model, allowing more children to then be taught and giving a play area. And really when you walk in, it's a piece of heaven in the midst of harsh realities.
That's stunning. Where did this decision come from to build the campus in the Kabokweni informal settlement?
Well, the discussion started, I suppose, end of last year when we were introduced to the Deputy Minister of Social Development and really hearing about the issues within the Kabokweni area. That specific community is plighted with teenage pregnancies, a lot of drug use and body trafficking. And, I suppose when you're looking at those circumstantial issues, you're trying to figure out which way can you address, or how best can it be addressed. I suppose education is the most important facet that needs to be implemented. And hence why we then decided to start at a grassroots level, in line with what government essentially have highlighted within their National Development Plan. So it really was a seamless integration and partnership that we started with the department, and we then deployed our new model of the Juga early childhood development within the Kabokweni area, and allowing the issues of teenage pregnancy to also be addressed. For example, we've got one of the units which have been within the campus model, which has been allocated to mothers or young mothers who still need to attend school, yet their babies would then not be cared for. So I think we're still trying to address these issues, and starting at that grassroots level, hopefully down the line this can then be resolved.
Yeah. I want to actually ask you about this partnership with the department. How does it work? I know there's always talk of these public-private partnerships. This is one in action. How's it panning out, and how does it work?
I think it's a work in progress, and constantly needing discussions and roundtables with stakeholders. In this case, it's Ciplar SA and the Department of Social Development. And I think it's really just, for example, us as a corporate have always been committed to community development, and Ciplar is looking to advance healthcare for all. And we then, as a foundation, have been specializing in infrastructure for a very, very long time. We've got primary healthcare facilities as well as those that focus on enterprise development. So in this case, it's really looking at the relevant stakeholder, which is social development, because that public is, their custodian. So it's understanding what their issues are and making sure that the work that we do is relevant to what government needs to address.
Yeah.
So that's why, the ongoing conversation is really necessary, as opposed to a project that we end up doing just sporadically or haphazardly without consulting stakeholders involved in that. And I think what we're also trying to achieve is being the beacon of hope in terms of best practice of how other corporates can do the same.
Yeah.
You normally have your 1% net profit after tax, which companies are allocating towards CSI. And what we're saying is, through the partnerships like what we've created with government, it's really quite simple to have those funds and resources allocated to what we know works and what has also been endorsed by national government.
I suppose the big thing is the sustainability of the centre, and obviously this entails good running, constant observation, people always there making sure that it doesn't go down. How does this actually work? I mean, who is running the centre?
I think that focuses mostly on people involved playing to their strengths. So like I said, we as a Ciplar Foundation focus on infrastructure. So our part and our role is to build the best specified campus model.
Yeah.
And that partnership with government also opens up other avenues in terms of getting practitioners involved, those who are well trained, and that is handled by the Department of Social Development. And from a sustainability point of view, it's been very clear that the Deputy Minister is only wanting the children who rely completely on the grant system to be able to access this campus. So what we're saying is those who are most deprived and so dependent on government are the ones who should be able to access this high standard of care and service within an educational platform.
Just as we wrap up, is this a prototype for others that are going to be found in different areas around the country?
Well, absolutely. We got the platinum status, well, by we I mean Ciplar Foundation, and the ECD campus has received the platinum status. So what we're saying is we've now decided on a benchmark in partnership with government, and the ideal is to then have this rolled out nationally. So regardless of which community you're in, because if we're saying platinum status, it's a Montessori.
Yeah.
So be it in the suburbs or informal community areas, this is something that should be accessible to all our kids, regardless of circumstances.
Well, good luck. All the very best. We'll be checking in on you and to see how the progress goes ahead with this development centre. It's in the informal settlement Kabokweni, and that's of course in the Mbombela in Nelspruit. So this is going to be an early childhood development centre and should be very, very interesting. In fact, they don't call it a centre, they call it a campus. So thanks so much for talking to us. That was Nompikazi Matjila, who is from Ciplar SA. Let's take a break here on the programme. Stay tuned. We'll have more after this.